Okay, guys, let's look today at the two shades of meaning. Um, we'll start with describe the difference between related words. So basically, this one is going to ask you, like, there's two words that mean something similar, and it's going to ask you, like, which one is bigger, that kind of thing. So a branch and a twig, for example, are both parts of a tree or something that is on a tree. But a branch refers to something that's bigger. A twig is usually considered small. Which one is man-made? A river or a canal? Both are waterways, but a canal refers to one that's man-made and a river is made by nature. Which has a higher volume? A loud sound or a deafening sound? That means it could make you go deaf. So, as one hearing impaired person knows, that would be the louder sound. Okay? Which is more common? Something that seldom happens, something that sometimes happens. So seldom means very rarely, sometimes means maybe 50-50, so that's more common. Which one suggests more intelligence? You can be smart but not brilliant. Brilliant means like above the normal flashes of smart or intelligence. Which is faster, scurrying or plodding? Scurrying, like we talk about mice scurry, they move quickly. Plodding is more like my mom's mastiff, especially towards the end of a walk, kind of starts plodding along. Which one refers to a discussion? Conversation, communication. Communication can happen a lot of different ways. Conversation is generally face-to-face. What is more forceful? Scrubbing something or wiping something? Scrubbing means kind of more of a hard and more furious motion, like faster motion, where wiping might just be going over it with a cloth once. Which is bigger? Something large, something immense? Immense. What is more shocking? Something surprising or something astounding? What is the difference between sobbing and crying? Crying is less casual, sobbing is more intense. So crying can be anything where, you're shedding tears, where sobbing is more of like kind of wailing, having a hard time breathing, very upset. What is the difference between feeling terrified and feeling scared? Feeling terrified is a stronger emotion. Feeling scared lasts longer. Terrified is definitely the stronger of the emotions. What is the difference between lanky and slender? Slender describes someone who is unusually tall. Lanky describes someone who is awkwardly tall and thin. What is the difference between walk and trudge? Trudge suggests a difficult or laborious march. So I always think of trudge as like when people talk about walking through like lots of snow or something like that. Walk suggests moving uphill. No. What is the difference between something antique and something ancient? Something antique isn't valuable. Well, that's not true because there's, like whole TV shows about antiques. Something ancient is older, so that would be correct. The difference between fury and anger. Anger shows more surprise, or fury is a stronger emotion. Fury is a stronger emotion. What is the difference between a pebble and a boulder? A pebble is heavier. Well, that's not true. A boulder is big and a pebble is small. Pebbles are like the things that you see in fish tanks are pebbles, where boulders are gigantic generally. Think Indiana Jones in the first Indiana Jones movie. He runs from a boulder. A pebble is smaller, a boulder is lighter, so a pebble is smaller. What is the difference between abandon and leave? Leave is more negative. Abandon suggests an accidental action. Abandon is more negative. Unfortunately, abandon is more negative, and lots of times we don't want to abandon things, but that's also why when we talk about abandoning books, and we have to make sure people understand that it's not a bad thing. What is the difference between a group and an association? A group can be just kind of a loose thing and can change frequently. So think of like even like a group of friends, where an association is more like you sign up, maybe you have a membership or a membership card. So an association is more official. Okay. What is the difference between an enthusiastic person and a happy person? An enthusiastic person expresses less anxiety. A happy person expresses excitement. An enthusiastic person expresses excitement. So you could just be happy but not super excited. I mean, you just be, satisfied, happy. But an enthusiastic person is someone that wants to do something. What is the difference between something desirable and something essential? Essential means it's needed. Desirable means that it's something you want but maybe don't need. So something is essential is necessary would be our answer. What is the difference between wise and cunning? Cunning kind of gets a bad rap. It's usually someone that does something in kind of a sneaky way or a trickery. Cunning often happens with people that are, older and, more aware or whatever, although kids can be cunning too. So wise definitely doesn't suggest someone is foolish. What is the difference between something probable and something possible? Probable means it's likely that it will happen. Possible means it could. So something probable is more likely to happen. What is the difference between a fake and a substitute? So a substitute just means that it's in place of something else. A fake means that it is kind of supposed to be a trick or like deceive somebody or make somebody think that it's the original, but it really isn't. So a fake is meant to trick or deceive by appearing like the original. So think of a substitute teacher. You know it's not your teacher, but so that's why it's called the substitute. It's somebody there in place of your teacher. It's not supposed to trick you. What is the difference between feeling tired and feeling exhausted? Feeling exhausted is more common. Feeling tired shows laziness. Feeling exhausted is more intense. So you can be tired and just, be ready for bed. Exhausted is like, I can't keep my eyes open. What is the difference between speaking and bragging? You can speak without bragging. Bragging is something that, when you kind of want to shove things in people's face or whatever. So bragging is not kinder. Speaking can be more friendly or less friendly. Bragging is definitely less polite, though. What is the difference between cleaning and grooming? Cleaning is permanent. Don't I wish if I could clean my house once and it'd stay clean? Ugh. Grooming requires gloves. Not necessarily. Cleaning can be done to a house. You can't groom your house. Grooming is more for a personal thing, or taking your dog to the groomers. What is the difference between announcing something and confessing something? Confessing something admits fault. Confessing something shows certainty. Announcing something is more unusual. No, you get announcements every day. So admitting fault is what we're looking for. The biggest thing that I can tell you for this one is if you read a lot, this is a lot easier because you get to see these words in context and you get to understand them in context. So this is one of those situations where this is why we ask you to read as much as we do and to set high goals for yourself. The more that you read, the more you're able to understand the different little differences between words. So good luck.